Welcome to the Risk Wheelhouse, the podcast where we navigate the ever-changing seas of risk management and technology. Join your hosts, Ori Wellington and Sam Jones, as they steer you through the latest trends, insights, and strategies shaping the future of integrated risk management. Ready to chart a course towards success? Hop aboard and let's set sail into today's deep dive.
What if the very systems designed for rules and regulations, the ones often seen as just a necessary burden, could actually become the engine of innovation and trust for an entire organization? For years, governance, risk, and compliance GRC, it felt like the Department of No, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All those manual checklists, the endless audits. I remember one client, they literally had a room full of binders just for compliance stuff.
That's a perfect image. Binders and spreadsheets.
Exactly. But today, we're going to unpack how GRC is undergoing this really radical transformation. It's becoming the verification backbone of something even bigger, integrated risk management, or IRM.
That's right. The shift is monumental. While you'll still hear GRC discussed in terms of audits and policies, the conversation has dramatically shifted from, those physical binders and reactive gotcha audits.
Right.
Our deep dive today, it's based on the 2025 IRM Navigator Vendor Compass for Governance, Risk, and Compliance report by Wheelhouse Advisors, and it really reveals GRC as a truly strategic asset.
Strategic, okay.
Yeah. It's about how policies, controls, and compliance data now flow dynamically through an organization, providing real-time assurance to leadership and building measurable trust with stakeholders.
So our mission for you today is to cut through any lingering jargon, really show you not just what GRC is now, but why this evolution truly matters. We'll explore how it fits into that broader IRM landscape, what capabilities are absolutely non-negotiable for modern businesses, and how leaders are actually using it to navigate everything from cutting-edge AI governance to complex sustainability disclosures.
It touches everything.
Get ready for some genuine aha moments, I think, that will redefine your understanding of risk and compliance.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's dive right into this transformation then. The report makes it abundantly clear. GRC is no longer just about record keeping. It's truly shifted, hasn't it?
Yeah.
From being a back office function to something front and center.
Absolutely front and center. And what's truly fascinating here is the sheer scale and complexity driving this evolution.
Tell us about that. What are the big drivers?
Well, the report highlights escalating regulatory demands, and these are global now, much more complex. There's also the convergence of assurance requirements across different regions. You can't just satisfy one regulator anymore.
Makes sense.
And there's a growing executive need, a real demand for evidence-based oversight. Boards want proof.
Proof, not just promises.
Exactly. Think about the intense pressures around, say, AI governance. That's huge right now.
Oh, yeah.
Critical sustainability disclosures, ESG reporting, and cyber resilience. Always cyber resilience. These aren't just IT or legal issues anymore. They're enterprise-wide challenges demanding an integrated response.
And these aren't just abstract ideas floating around. There's real financial muscle behind this shift. The report tells us the broader IRM market is projected to skyrocket.
Numbers are staggering.
Right. From $61.6 billion in 2025 to a whopping $147.0 billion by 2032. There's a compound annual growth rate of, 13.2%?
13.2%, huge growth.
And GRC itself, it accounts for a significant chunk of that, an estimated $12 billion in 2025, forecasted to reach $25 billion by 2032.
Still growing strong at 11.1% CAGR.
That's serious growth, showing how vital it's become. But, those aren't just big numbers. They speak to a fundamental shift in how organizations value risk and compliance. Expert, what does this massive financial growth really signal? Is it just an unavoidable cost, or is it a strategic investment now?
It's definitely the latter. It's strategic. What we're seeing is a market recognizing that effective GRC isn't just about avoiding penalties anymore.
Right.
It's about unlocking competitive advantage. It's building trust that drives market cap, allows for bolder innovation. Honestly, the cost of not investing is what's truly skyrocketing now.
That's a great point.
Precisely. But despite that growth, GRC's share of the total IRM market is expected to slightly decline, actually, from about 19.5% down to 17.0%.
Okay, wait. Growing fast, but its share is declining. How does that work?
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, but it isn't a negative sign for GRC. It reflects a larger structural shift. The market is moving away from sort of compliance-first, siloed investments towards more integrated, AI-enabled resilience and assurance across the board.
So the whole pie is getting much bigger, and other areas like maybe AI risk or operational resilience tech are growing even faster, pulling up the average.
Exactly. The whole IRM space is expanding rapidly. As John A. Wheeler, the founder of Wheelhouse Advisors, puts it, and I think this sums it up nicely, modern GRC earns its place when assurance and compliance data flows upward to the board, across operations, and into technology signals.
Integration, that's the key word.
That's the integration standard we're talking about. It has to connect.
So the big takeaway for you listening is that GRC platforms are now the verification backbone, the sort of central truth source for integrated risk management.
That's a good way to put it. Verification backbone.
Their ability to connect policies and controls with actual enterprise objectives is absolutely essential now for navigating regulatory scrutiny, building resilience. It's a complete flip from that grudging expense to being an engine that genuinely fuels enterprise trust.
Couldn't agree more.
I found this next part particularly illuminating. If GRC is now our verification backbone, how does it, physically connect to the wider nervous system of integrated risk management?
Right. How does it plug in?
Yeah. The report's IRM Navigator model offers this brilliant framework for understanding that architecture. Can you walk us through its core structure?
Absolutely. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the IRM Navigator model gives us a blueprint for this integration. It organizes everything around 4 core enterprise objectives: performance, resilience, assurance, and compliance, or PRAs.
Pretty easy.
Think of PRAs as the ultimate goals, the outcomes you want for any healthy organization.
Performance, resilience, assurance, compliance. Got it.
These goals are then activated through 4 key integration points: goals, processes, assets, and policies.
Goals, processes, assets, policies.
And this is where GRC steps in. It specifically anchors the policies integration point.
Okay, GRC anchors policies. But doesn't that risk making it seem like it's still just about documents and rules, maybe? How does it shed that older perception within this IRM framework?
That's a really crucial distinction to make. While policies are foundational, yes, GRC's role here is to make those policies living documents, not static ones.
Living documents. How so?
Think of GRC as maybe the immune system for your entire organization's integrated risk management.
Okay, interesting analogy.
Just as your immune system verifies threats and defends your body, GRC provides the auditable evidence, the verified passports, if you will, that link all your risk management efforts. That means across enterprise risk management, ERM, operational risk management, ORM, and technology risk management, TRM.
Linking them all together.
Exactly. Linking them to accountable policies, certifiable controls, and reliable disclosures. So, for example, your ERM efforts, the ones aimed at strategic risks for the board.
Right, the big picture stuff.
They consume GRC outputs for that board confidence and disclosures and certifications. Your ORM teams, focused on daily operations.
Keeping the lights on.
They leverage GRC control data to strengthen those processes, improve resilience against disruptions, and TRM, which handles your technology and cyber risks.
Increasingly critical.
They integrate GRC attestations for validating those controls. This is especially crucial with complex things like AI governance challenges. GRC provides the proof it's working.
That's incredibly clear now. So GRC is the central nervous system, or maybe the circulatory system, ensuring consistent, verifiable information flows to all the other risk functions, providing that stamp of legitimacy.
That's it. It ensures integrity across the system.
And the report notes that the boundaries between these IRM segments, ERM, ORM, TRM, GRC, and even risk management consulting, RMC, they're becoming increasingly permeable. There's a clear shift towards unified cross-domain orchestration.
Yeah, the silos are breaking down, or at least they need to be.
You simply can't have one truly effective function without the others anymore. It's all interconnected.
Absolutely. Integration is key.
Okay, so understanding GRC's evolved role is one thing.
Yeah.
But for many of you listening, the real question becomes, how do I choose the right solution in this complex landscape?
That's the practical challenge, isn't it?
Thankfully, the report doesn't just theorize. It offers a practical vendor compass to guide that decision. How does it simplify this evaluation?
Are you ready to see risk management in action? At Wheelhouse Advisors, we've launched a new YouTube channel dedicated to integrated risk management. You'll find quick explainers, insights from our IRM Navigator research reports, highlights from the Risk Journal, and conversations from the Risk Wheelhouse podcast. We're covering the topics that matter most to executives and risk leaders, from AI governance and cyber insurance to operational resilience and regulatory change. Every video is designed to help you anticipate risks, adapt with confidence, and build resilience in a digital-first world. In our first video, we explain how ISO 42001, the EU AI Act, and the NIST AI Risk Management Framework can work together as a unified playbook for AI risk. Subscribe today at youtube.com/@wheelhouseadv and get the latest insights delivered directly to you. That's youtube.com/@wheelhouseadv. Subscribe now and stay ahead of the risks that matter most.
Well, this raises an important question about how you assess value in what's a rapidly changing market. The vendor compass evaluates GRC platforms along two primary dimensions.
Okay, 2 dimensions. What are they?
First, solution coverage. This is basically the breadth and depth of core GRC functionality, things like obligation management, control testing, audit management, ethics reporting, disclosure reporting. The basics, but done well.
What it does.
Exactly. The second dimension is level of integration. This focuses on how deeply the platform connects that assurance data across the broader IRM framework.
How well it connects.
Precisely. This includes critical capabilities like interoperability with ERM, ORM, and TRM systems. It includes continuous control monitoring, or CCM.
CCM, tell me more about that. Sounds important.
Oh, it is. Think of CCM as moving from, say, a quarterly audit snapshot to a live, always-on diagnostic system for your policies and controls.
Like a real-time health check.
Exactly. Catching issues as they happen, not months later in an audit. And robust support for AI governance is also part of that integration measure now.
Gotcha. So it's not just what the platform does, but how well it connects to everything else.
Yeah.
And based on these 2 dimensions, coverage and integration vendors fall into 3 categories: Integrators, Accelerators, and Pacesetters.
That's right.
Can you give us a quick overview of who these players are, sort of the flavor of each category?
Certainly. So integrators, these typically have extensive coverage and a proven ability to integrate across multiple IRM domains. They're usually best for organizations already at the extended stage of maturity. We'll talk about maturity next.
Okay, the big comprehensive players.
Right. Think of vendors like Archer, Audit Board, Risk Connect, and OneTrust in this space. Then you have accelerators.
Accelerators.
These demonstrate real innovation and strong momentum, maybe in selected GRC areas, but they're moving fast. They often serve as great entry points for rapid maturity gains.
Good for catching up or focusing.
Yeah, they typically fit embedded or coordinated maturity programs. Examples here would include Corporator, Diligent, MetricStream, NAVX, SAI 360, ServiceNow, and Workiva.
Okay. And the third group?
Pacesetters. These tend to offer narrower scope or maybe targeted depth in specific areas. They're often well suited for the mid-market or for specialized use cases, but generally have more limited, broader IRM integration capabilities today.
So more focused solutions.
Exactly. They align well with foundational or coordinated maturity levels. Think of LogicGate, OnSpring, Process Unity, Resolver, and Origami Risk in this category.
And you mentioned these categories connect directly to the IRM Navigator maturity curve. This curve describes how organizations evolve from those siloed, spreadsheet-driven practices towards autonomous assurance.
Right. It maps the journey.
What are the key stages on that journey for you, the listener, to be aware of?
Yeah, the curve outlines 5 critical stages of evolution. It starts with 1, foundational. This is where many still are, unfortunately. Manual, siloed, often heavily spreadsheet-driven processes, very reactive.
Binderland.
Binderland, exactly. Stage 2 is coordinated. Here, data starts to centralize, maybe in a single system, but workflows are still quite fragmented across departments.
Getting organized but not connected.
Pretty much. Stage 3 is embedded. This is where risk and compliance thinking starts to integrate more deeply with operational systems. You see early continuous control monitoring starting to emerge here.
Things are starting to talk to each other.
Right. Stage 4 is extended. This is a big leap. Here, taxonomies, risk language, and platforms are shared across internal functions and even sometimes with third parties. GRC data flows reliably into ERM dashboards, ORM resilience routines, TRM telemetry.
Real integration happening.
Yes. And organizations at this stage, they expect measurable outcomes like significantly shorter audit cycles, faster reporting, disclosure-ready evidence packs on demand.
Value becomes tangible.
Definitely. And finally, stage 5, the ultimate stage, is autonomous. This is the future state, really. AI-driven sensing, continuous control testing, automated mitigation where possible, with near real-time assurance. This includes sophisticated AI governance becoming baked in.
Well, moving from spreadsheet chaos to that sort of supercomputer of assurance we talked about earlier.
That's the vision. But the report emphasizes something important. True maturity isn't just about the system you buy.
It's more than tech.
Much more. It's about a mindset, what the report calls integrated risk thinking. That focuses on cross-functional integration, proactive management, enterprise-wide ownership, and adaptability. Culture eats strategy, right?
Always. That autonomous stage sounds incredibly powerful. But, as we know, platforms don't implement themselves. People do.
People, process, technology. In that order.
So who are the key leadership personas driving and influencing these GRC decisions? And how does understanding their perspectives affect your approach when you're selecting solutions?
That's such a critical point. The report identifies the primary buyers, the usual suspects, if you like. The Chief Compliance Officer, CCO, the Chief Audit Executive, CAE, the Chief Risk Officer, CRO, and the Chief Information Security Officer, CSO. They often hold the budget.
Okay, the core risk and compliance leaders.
But there's a broader circle of really powerful influencers now. Think about the Chief Legal Officer, CLO, the Chief Financial Officer, CFO, demanding reliable numbers, the Chief Human Resources Officer, CHRO, concerned with ethics and conduct.
Right, risk touches everyone's domain.
And increasingly, the Chief Data Officer, CDO, especially with the complexities around AI governance and data privacy, these leaders don't just passively consume GRC outputs, they actively shape requirements. They demand specific kinds of evidence.
So GRC becomes their common ground.
Exactly. Imagine the CLO ensuring regulatory compliance, while the CDO is focused on ethical AI usage. GRC becomes the common operating language, the sort of neutral territory where these diverse needs get translated into unified policies and verifiable actions.
So understanding their individual pain points and priorities is absolutely key.
It's essential for selecting a GRC solution that truly serves the entire enterprise, not just one department.
This implies that for you, the listener, understanding who needs what from GRC is just as vital as comparing feature lists.
Absolutely. Context is everything.
And the report offers very specific guidance, doesn't it, for different types of organizations trying to navigate this landscape?
It does. It gets quite practical. For large enterprises, the guidance is pretty clear. Favor those integrator vendors for true unification across complex global operations.
Go big for big challenges.
Right. Demand-proven cross-domain integration. Rigorously evaluate reporting and disclosure capabilities, that's key for investor confidence, and scrutinize AI governance readiness with a fine-tooth comb.
Which vendors stand out there?
Well, integrators like Archer, Audit Board, and OneTrust are traditionally strong here. And some accelerators, like ServiceNow and Workiva, are really advancing rapidly in their AI governance capabilities, too.
Okay, what about for small and mid-sized enterprises, SMEs? Different path.
Yeah, the path often differs slightly. They might leverage accelerators like NAVX or SEI 360 for getting fast breadth across core compliance and ethics needs.
To get foundational coverage quickly.
Or they might adopt Pacesetters such as LogicGate or OnSpring for very targeted needs, like automating the internal audit function specifically.
More focused approach.
But crucially, SMEs should plan for scalability right from day one. Make sure the chosen platforms offer robust APIs, a clear product roadmap for future growth, because their integrated risk needs will evolve as they grow.
Don't paint yourself into a corner.
Exactly.
Think ahead.
So whether you're a global enterprise grappling with immense complexity or a growing SME building your foundation, the message seems consistent and powerful. Don't evaluate GRC in isolation.
Please don't.
Its true value, its modern value, is in how well it supplies that verifiable evidence across all IRM domains, powering not just compliance, but really powering trust and performance.
That's the transformation in a nutshell. We've seen how GRC has dramatically evolved from that simple, often burdensome compliance tool
The binder room?
into the strategic policies integration point of integrated risk management.
Yeah.
It's really no longer just about satisfying mandates from regulators.
It's proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. It's about actively building trust, enhancing organizational resilience, and fueling better performance by delivering continuous, verifiable assurance.
And this leads us beautifully to our final thought for you to ponder as you go about your day. The report emphasizes 3 key imperatives for the future of GRC and IRM.
3 crucial takeaways. Continuous assurance moving beyond point-in-time checks. AI governance is a first-class, non-negotiable requirement. And integration as the true measure of relevance.
If it's not integrated, it's not modern GRC.
So the question for you is, what will you do to ensure your organization's GRC isn't just ticking boxes anymore, but is truly transforming into that adaptive, intelligent assurance operating system that will be absolutely critical for navigating the complexities of tomorrow's risk landscape?
It's a journey, but a necessary one.
The road to integrated risk excellence, it seems, begins with reframing GRC as the very foundation of enterprise trust.
That wraps up another episode of the Risk Wheelhouse. Thank you for spending time with us at Wheelhouse Advisors today. We hope you found the conversation insightful and actionable for your organization's risk strategies. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon Music. If you're looking for more in-depth analysis and thought leadership on risk technology, be sure to visit the Risk Tech Journal at therisktechjournal.com. It's your go-to source for comprehensive articles, expert interviews, and the latest trends shaping the industry. Subscribe today to stay informed. For any inquiries or feedback, please contact us directly at info@wheelhouseadvisors.com, or feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn and x.com and share your thoughts or suggestions for future topics. Visit wheelhouseadvisors.com for more information and resources. Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, navigate wisely.